The band Scap Press trains scapular protraction or pushing the shoulder blades away from each other, activating your serratus anterior muscles alongside the ribs, which is key for shoulder health and performance. Now you can do this drill with an overhand grip the whole way, but I also like to mix in this particular variation where I'm actually mimicking the way I would punch. So you start palms facing, and as you push out, you rotate overhand. And you know, it's no surprise, the serratus anterior is called the puncher's muscle, so it's a great way to kind of apply our boxing mechanics. Now you can also take this drill, and I actually like to do it with a scap bar. So I'll put one end of the band around one end of a stick or pipe, or as I call this, a double-sided dildo. And it allows me to kind of get a little more freedom of motion, and it's not as stressful on the hands in terms of using a lighter band. The band pull apart improves posture, strengthens all of your upper back muscles, including the rhomboids, the traps, and the lats, and it also trains scapular retraction or pulling the shoulder blades back. You can do it with an underhand grip, which winds the shoulder into an external rotation, which targets your lower traps more, which pull the shoulder blades down and mobilizes the shoulder girdle. You can also do it with an overhand grip, and I like to go like this, pull it right across that nipple line, back, and this gets a little more rear delt. The band overhead press trains upward scapular rotation, targeting the upper traps and the levator scapula. The key focus here is make sure we're not hyperextending the back to get the range of motion. Crunch the abs, squeeze the glutes, and shrug those shoulders as high as you can towards the ears. Now I can also do this by taking a scap bar or a stick or a PVC pipe, putting it just like this. A neutral grip tends to be a little more joint friendly, and just doing the exact same movement, just like that. I'm actually going to start in a get-up because that's actually how I want you to set up to do external rotations. And I see this exercise done, and I was there too, especially as a young idiot, really stiff, like really rigid with it. But what you want to do is kind of really drive the knee out and get as much flexion of the hip and the ankle as you can, and then use that elbow to push that hip away. Now I've got full protraction of the shoulder blades. I'm locked in. Inhale down, and when I'm here too, like, have some fun, mess around. You've got that ability to really drive the elbow up and get a unique rowing angle using the leverage or sliding action of the elbow. But anyway, we're just gonna burn out the external rotators. You can really never do inhale down enough of these, and try to really get some range of motion, but start light. Start with a fist or a soup can. I'm using a 5. This is plenty. I'm not the smallest guy in the world. I'm 40 and old as fuck, but I'm not the smallest guy in the world. And this 5-pound dumbbell is testing me in terms of sustained contraction and range of motion in a way. If I went 10 or 15 or 20, and I'm gonna blow out these small muscles. These are small muscles. These are small muscles. Okay, leave them alone. Go slow, go light, go full range of motion, and focus on contraction. And we can also do this with a band. So I'll give you an option. I don't know if you have access to a band for this particular workout. You just select the dumbbell workout, whatever else. But take the band, get it just about this tight with the arm bent at 90 degrees, okay? So look, you can even start like this so you know that you get full range. Just come in, set, exhale all the way out, and pin that elbow tight to the oblique or love handle area. Inhale back. And again, focus on as much range of motion. Drive the elbow into the hip and kind of push away, and just swivel. Get that elbow right into that hip pelvic crest right here, right above the pelvis, and just swivel and dig into it. You can go slow in the beginning, then mix in some faster reps without losing your shoulder positioning. And obviously we're gonna do both sides because we're fixing the balances between sides. The one-arm scap press trains scapular protraction and sets the foundation for chest presses. Focus on pushing the knuckles skyward and then driving that shoulder underground. The one-arm scap row is a great exercise to strengthen your scapular retraction muscles. It also sets the foundation for rows. I like to do it off the edge of a bench or step so I can get that full extension at the bottom, that full reach, and I want to be very active with this down arm for stability. The one-arm suitcase shrug trains your upper traps, but also your obliques as it stabilizes and trying to fight the tilting and turning forces of being loaded on one side. Now the big focus here, you gotta keep the weight away from your body and focus on getting all the way up. Try to shrug and then squeeze and contract upper traps at the top, and then try to get a really deep stretch at the bottom of the exercise. The one-arm overhead scap press trains scapular upward rotation and elevation. It also sets the foundation for all overhead work. You've got to start with a light 5 to 10 pound bell, and you've got to make sure you do it from a split stance and keep your abs crunched so we're not hyperextending the back to get false range of motion. So root yourself down, try to get that shoulder up to the ear, and then pack all the way down. The one-arm bridge shrug targets the rear delts, the lats, and the lower traps by working scapular depression. It's kind of like training the dip shrug, but one arm at a time, because a one-arm dip shrug would be damn near impossible. Now I want you to start doing this from a seated position and really focus on getting that shoulder all the way to the ear at the bottom and then packing it all the way down at the top. You can make it harder by lifting the hips or holding a dumbbell at shoulder level or overhead. The one-arm overhead sit-up trains trunk and hip flexion. I want you to start in the fetal position and either go with your body weight or a super light dumbbell, spread your feet into a V shape and focus on driving the heels underground to get glute activation and kind of blocking your positioning. I want that lower back flat to the floor. You'll start with a deep inhale into the belly to stabilize the spine. Exhale up, focus on going upwards instead of forwards, and then inhale through the nose into the belly, going down slow. And repeat for time. The one-arm pull-up shrug is my go-to shoulder stretch, and it's the key to getting the mobility you need for flawless pull-up form. So really focus on shrugging the shoulder up towards the ear, crunching the abs, and then try to pack it all the way down, feeling a big activation of the rear delt, the lat, and also the low traps, just pull the shoulder blades down. Now, my favorite way to do this is the easiest option, parallel stance. I like doing it from a split stance, which actually increases the loading on this arm and the stretch in the hip. The one-arm back to belly is one of my favorite drills to improve rotation in the hips and the upper back or thoracic spine. Start in the fetal position with a light dumbbell, and then you're gonna roll to your back as a setting up for a get-up. Now we'll start by just kind of translating forward into this kind of sideline position and kind of just get yourself nice and organized. You can rest the head on the biceps and have the eyes up at the bell. Now just do some elongated breathing, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Once that feels good, I want you to kind of spread those hips into the ground. I want you to get the dick on the floor, okay? And then from there, just slowly, I can even add some motion to the legs, kind of stretch the quads and hips, but keep trying to get those hips pinned down to the ground. And once the timer goes up, I'll just reverse the movement, switch sides, and repeat.